of key event binding and some examples on working with key event binding. So this is the general option used for key event binding. So in that we designed two examples how we can handle the validation here, username. So username taken or not, username short, username taken or not, right? And here the password. So anything capital letter entered, warning with caps lock, otherwise no. These are the basic key events, how to use them. Now, just to understand how to handle the keys. In the second example, we used key code. We verified the key code, whether the key code is between 65 to 90. If it is between 65 to 90, so then it is caps, otherwise it is not. You have to write everything logically. We need to handle that logically, technically how. So that is all key events. Some more examples in different levels we can see while working with these key events. I just given you some example how to handle. We can use with patterns, verifying with the patterns. In validations, I will show you different examples also. Means how to handle validations, working with validations on these events, we will see that. Yeah, these are general key event related binding options. Then after understanding the key event binding, so you need to know about the mouse event binding. We need to know about the mouse event binding, how to deal with the mouse event binding. So that means here Angular provides, so Angular provides option provides Angular provides support for actions to perform when perform based on mouse interactions. Angular provides support for actions to perform based on mouse interactions also. That means usually when mouse pointer is over, out and all, right? So Angular can use all JavaScript mouse events for handling mouse interactions. What are the events? So that JavaScript can use JavaScript events. All JavaScript events are same actually. So generally we have options like event and the description. We have few events related to mouse, like we have mouse over, and mouse over specifies the actions to perform when a mouse pointer is over the HTML element, It specifies actions to perform when mouse pointer is over the HTML element. That's similarly we have mouse out. So means it specifies the actions to perform when pointer is moved out of the element. Then we have mouse down. So mouse down is mouse down. So mouse down is to specify actions, specify actions to perform when mouse pointer when mouse button when mouse button button is down, button is down over any element, similarly mouse up. So mouse up means it specifies actions to perform when mouse button is released over any element. One more option is mouse move. Already we learned this. In style binding, I explained this. Mouse move means it specifies the actions to perform while the mouse pointer is moving over any element. That we already saw one example of last session. Previously, before we learned about style binding, we saw that. These are all general mouse event binding, right? It can use all the JavaScript mouse events, handling them. And important is usually mouse events depends on mouse properties. Mouse events depends on mouse properties. So mouse properties like so we have few important properties like client X. That means gets X axis position. Like client Y gets the Y axis position. Client Y, so it gets the Y axis position, like this. These are important. And all other events are regularly used. Regularly used means like you have key up, key down, used some properties like alt key, shift key, control key. These also we can use with mouse. We can configure with that. Generally, how to handle this, how we can manage this. Let's see one simple example for that. So means how to handle this. So let's see one simple example here. So technically, when you are dealing with the mouse events, so let's add a new component here. So let's add a new component for the app, right? So ng generate component mouse demo. Skip test, okay. Okay, now here we are adding the options like let's close this. So mouse demo, that is in the startup. Yeah, mouse demo. So here mouse demo. Now I want some actions to handle. Mouse demo is working fine. We want some actions to identify mouse over, mouse out, how we can manage the interactions. For example, so here I am going to mouse demo example, and let's create in the HTML, let's create a design here. So div class container fluid. Okay. And we have a div here. So this is class row. Okay, so here we defined a header, just a heading like color panel. Okay, and here we have div. So class as call 3. So we say some call 4. Okay, so this is call 4 again, another column 4, and another column 4, right? And here for this we are applying some effects for those columns to display. So we are defining the effects and ID. So for this div, I given an ID as red, this ID as green, this ID as blue, red, green, and blue. Some different colors we can configure. And we will set, so we will put style, background color, color as red. Okay. And I'm defining this here, right? So just background color red. So, and this one is background color as green, and this is background color as blue. So blue. So we configure some colors. Style, we are defining the background color, and make sure that these are applied there. Okay. Fine. Now this is the design. So we need to apply the colors for them. And we don't have any content inside them. So we don't have any content inside them. So then we will keep here the content as red. This is the content as green, and this is blue. Okay. And we have those colors here. This is a color panel. So this is the row, and we have style. So margin, so as suppose 30 pixel. And that is the div kept with the margin here. So that is call. And you can put so some height, so height as some 100 pixel. That means the row height to 100 pixel. So then it will keep this here. So we have just options, right? And we are adding some color for that. So color as white. So we are configuring it. Okay, we have these colors. Alignment, anything you can keep, that's not the point here. So, okay, now what should happen is, so this is a color panel I designed. Now, when I move the mouse onto it, I want to apply that color to my content here. That means colors need to be applied when I move the mouse onto that particulars. So that means here, so we need to define colors for any another element below this. So we have a div and a class as, so yeah, this is ordinary div. And here in the div, we have some text, we have some sample text. So that is heading, and we have some sample text, text or color like this, text or shape, something like this. Now here we want to define align to center, that is class as text center. Okay. This is the text we have for the content here. This is the heading. Now important is I want to apply color for this. When mouse is over that color should apply here. That color should apply here. That means when mouse pointer is over that color should be applied to the text. So that means first point, how you will identify on which color currently mouse pointer is present. That is the basic thing you need to understand first. So that is simple, because These are divs actually. And for every div, we given an ID. When mouse is over that div, I can get that ID of the div. That will be better, good. That means you can get the ID of that particular div. That means when mouse is over, we can get the ID for that particular div. We can get the ID. So when mouse is over this row on this particular column, then it has to get the ID of that particular column. ID is having a color name. If you can access the ID, that means you can get the color name. So what we are doing here is, let's go to the TypeScript file here. In the TypeScript file, we want to access that color here. So we want to configure that color here. That means we will create a style object first, style object. And this style object contains a color. And color is empty. No color is defined here. Fine. Now on mouse over, this function should be called when mouse is over. And on mouse out, this should be called when mouse pointer is out. When a mouse pointer is out, this dot style object, its color should be applied. Its color should be applied with black. That means if it is out, on mouse out, color should be black. So on mouse over, we have to get that color name. That means we have to write the event for this row div. In the row div, we are writing the event. So mouse over. So when mouse over, so we are defining on mouse over. Okay. And mouse out. On mouse out, we are calling on mouse out. So we are defining this. So on mouse over, I need to send the ID. Of that particular objects. The div IDs need to be sent. So how you can send the ID on mouse over, right? How we can define that? So the object related properties and event related properties we can send with the $event. So I will pass event argument $event. Okay. Now I will collect that object here. Now this dot style object, it should use the color. Coming from the div ID. How you can access the div ID? E refers to the div. In order to access the ID means property, you have target. Target is to access the properties of object. Dot which property value? ID property value that we have to define. That means ID property value. That means when mouse is over this div, usually mouse will be actually over on this column. When mouse is over this column, that ID will be passed into this event. ID is red. We are collecting that ID here. We are collecting the ID and we are configuring that ID. So that means that color we are collecting and using. How you can access the property by using target. We can access the property. Okay, we are doing this. Now let's see the design. On mouse over, the color, this style object gets color from the color panel. On mouse out, it will be set to black. Let's go to this mouse demo component HTML. Here we need to apply that style object to this text. You know how to apply. we have to use an ng style. Ng style, we will apply the style object here. Okay, the style object. And you can see now when I move the mouse on red, the text will be red color. When I move the mouse on to green, then it will be green color. And on blue, then it will be blue color. You don't need to click. When pointer is over it, it will display that color. That means the text color is changing according to the position of the mouse, right? You are just moving, right? On over, you can define this. You can apply some pointer which will display different effects for that. Generally, what we can do is, suppose when mouse is over the div, you can go to the CSS. So we have a div hover. That means when mouse pointer is over on the div, we can put a cursor. So many cursors will be there. So we can put a cursor. So this cursor will provide some cursors. Like I put a cursor like grab. I can put a cursor like a pointer, right? I can put a cursor like not allowed, no drop. So many will be there. We can even have resize, row resize, column resize. So many cursors will be there. Suppose I am just defining a cursor as some grab. I am defining the cursor as grab, right? It will apply that cursor and there, right? You can use for any purpose, right? You can use for any purpose. I just applied on text, right? You can use to change the background color of page. You can change the complete theme according to which theme you selected. It completely depends on where you are applying. If you know how to apply, I applied on text. You can apply on any element. You can apply for body background. You can apply for a different set of themes. You can define, it's your wish. You can configure anything, right? So here, so once we define that on mouse over grab, then you can see, so when mouse over hand symbol will come for that. So the hand symbol will come for that. I'm applying only for the text. You can apply for different. That means there can be background, there can be border, there can be shading. For every option, you can define a color. You can define a color, right? So suppose here on mouse leave, I am changing this on mouse leave. I am changing that to black again. If I don't change it to black again, it will remain that color, right? It will remain in that color. So depends on how you write the configuration for that. So on mouse out, so then it is removing it, right? So you can ignore this. Then what will happen is it will keep the same color there, right? So it depends where you want to apply. Suppose you want to apply for body or complete background, obviously you can do that, right? So if you want to apply for complete background, you can apply style object here, ng style, right? Ng style. A style object can be applied here, right? So style object is applied here. And currently we are using only color. In our style object, we are just using color. We can set background color, right? We can set background color. We can define options for the color, background color. We are configuring this. And if you are setting background color, so that means you have to configure that background color here, right? So you can use for any, you can put background, border, or anywhere you can apply that. You can configure that. So what do you think? This is not a scenario where you use colors. Huh? You haven't seen anywhere colors are picked up on mouse over. Huh? Never saw anything. You never saw anywhere colors are picked up on mouse over, right? So many online color picker something or there, pickers are there. You can see them. These are gadgets to know the red color, green color, its positions, right? So you have so many image editing softwares. So in the image editing softwares, usually everywhere colors will be there. So you move the mouse onto that, it will get that color shade and display. See, background is changing. Background of that is changing. You can pick the color, you can save. Just like you can apply some themes for your page. Everywhere it is there, right? So in real world scenario, everything is with colors only these days, right? So you have a Gmail, you have Gmail several themes, you have Facebook several themes. When you are choosing the themes, it will automatically show you the preview. On mouse over, it shows the preview. It will not wait until you click. Am I right? Right? On the mouse over itself, it will show the preview of those colors and backgrounds and everything. So until or unless you click on this, right? So here I applied for entire text now. Suppose I can apply for, this is only color I define. Suppose I am setting a background color. So we are setting a background color, configuring a background color, just like you saw in that website. So background color. You applied background color for that. That means there will be a background color here. So that means when we move the mouse, it will be that color. So for entire background, because that is just the div there. Only the row is there, right? So we can apply everywhere. So any type we can define. That means here I am defining. So this div. So it is normal. Suppose we applied for the body, right? It will apply everywhere. Suppose I said style. So height as some 1000 pixel. So 1000 pixel for that. And you can see that now the div is complete. So this is red color, green color, blue color, right? And when you out, then it will be displayed in black color. You are changing the appearance of your entire page and defining them, right? You will see this in your bloggers, in your web designing, you know, WordPress template designing and all, right? Colors, choosing the colors, designing the websites online, everything happens there. Where you want to apply, you can configure that, right? So if you have seen web designing, you'll see template designs, right? All these are directly available, right? So with colors, color panels. You can even control animations and effects according to your requirements. For example, suppose you can even control animations, right? That means I will show you that. So for example, this is an example for how do we use the options. Like this is for mouse over, and we have like mouse out options to handle. So mouse over, mouse out. This is an example. I will just copy that. So mouse over mouse demo.component.ts. So in the mouse demo component.ts, we are applying this. This is the basic code for that. And we have mouse demo.component.html. In the HTML, I'm adding this design. Wherever you want, you can apply that, right? You can change the complete theme. You can change any specific. It depends on, I just used only one object there. Huh? Right. So that is next option is we are configuring, so mouse demo dot component dot CSS, and there we are applying this. Okay, CSS, this is just the basic CSS available. This is on mouse over and mouse out like options, how to handle, right? Okay, let's see in various other ways how we can manage that. So suppose, see, I will clean that all the logic here. So let's see one more thing. I'm just cleaning up everything. Okay, so all this gone, just an empty one. Okay, fine. Now suppose where else you generally see these type of approaches, right? For example, we have a div and a class as container fluid. Okay, so div, so class have row, class have row, and here we have a div, so class as call, this is some 3, and just roughly, so we have a div, this is having a class called call some 6, and another div we have a class called some call 3, this is also 3. Okay, so here just we have the headers like some shopping, just rough, because our main concentration is inside the right panel. So this is menu something. Okay, this is the design. So we have menu shopping, and in the right panel, suppose this is the right panel. Suppose we have options like ads. So offers. Okay, just I defined the option offers at the right panel. Okay, now important is in these columns, so under the offers, so I have a div, and in this we have an image source, so assets some speaker. What is the speaker I have here? JBL speaker, right? Yeah, so JBL speaker dot JPG. Okay, and its width is 100 and height also 100. So that is one div there. I will copy that. I will paste that. Second one is like a shoe dot JPG. And third one is like some shirt dot JPG. Okay, some details will be there under that. So under every option we have a div. So some options configured there. Suppose I will keep a span, and so here I defined the span as some rupees. Okay, so here I will just put as some 40% off. So off, okay. And here we just keep a div. So then span some 60% off, okay. Just I'm configuring some options, a div and a span, and some 30% off. Okay, so this is the content we have. So we have some content there. In the right panel we have. And what I'm doing for this is, so all this content, so the offers related content. So I will keep this in a marquee. I will keep in a marquee. I will keep all this in a marquee, all this in a marquee. And marquee, and here we will keep the marquee direction. Direction is equal to up. Marquee direction as up. And marquee has some scrolling speed, scroll amount. Scroll amount is equal to some 10. Okay. And you can see the contents will be scrolling here. The contents will be scrolling here. I have only few contents to display there. These contents will be scrolling there. Now what I want here is on mouse over I want this scrolling to stop. On mouse over, I want the scrolling to stop. So on mouse over, I want the scrolling to stop. Usually marquee is a HTML element which have a method, which have animation methods. Marquee is an animation element. It have animation methods. So animation methods which can start and stop the marquee for. We have animation methods. So what I'm doing here is, so we will write a logic here. So that means on mouse over. Okay. And on mouse out. On mouse over, what should happen? That means this mouse over, mouse out should work when mouse is over the marquee. Then here marquee will have, so mouse over. So it will call on mouse over. And it will have mouse out. It will use on mouse out. Okay. And usually, so when mouse is over, I need to control the marquee. Then marquee related details you can pass by using $event. And on out also, I have to pass $event. So we are passing that $event and we are collecting it here. So $event E, we are collecting that object here. Now what should happen is when mouse is over, I need to stop the animation. I need to stop that animation. Then usually what we can do is simply, so E can access target. That means it can access that mouse related properties. And in that we will say stop. That means it stops. Stop is a method, predefined method. It works only for animation elements like marquee. And you have another option, e.target, target.start. That means start that animation. That means on mouse over, it will stop the animation of marquee, and out it will start. So you can see now when I move the mouse pointer onto it, then it will stop that animation. And move mouse outside it, then it will again move. And move onto it, then it will stop. We are defining for the marquee area. On marquee area, when you move the mouse onto it, it will stop. And you can move out of it, it will be gone. So on mouse over, it will stop. And mouse out, it will be there. So we are dynamically controlling the animation here. So just by using the mouse over and mouse out. So everywhere it is used. So technically, you will find almost every website commercially that want to show some offers, some flash news, some updates, everything. So on mouse over and mouse out, several interactions are handled. Right. So this is, even you can make zoom, you can make rotate, like effects, you can manage so many things. So technically, for that we need some animation also. Later I will tell you about angular animations when we learn about angular animations. Everywhere you can give. This is not only for image, na? You write for text, you write for pictures, you write. Marquee means you can keep anything. It's a general HTML thing, na? It's not any special. Anything you can put in marquee. You put a banner, you can put anything inside it, right? So usually, so on mouse over and mouse out, what are the types of interactions we usually handle? Those you can define by using this. So here I just showed you two examples how we can manage them. how we can manage them. This is another example. So mouse demo.component.ts. In this, so we are adding this. This is the logic for mouse demo component.ts. And this is another example actually. And mouse demo.component.html. I just added a simple scrolling content there. I just added some scrolling content here. So other columns are no use as of now, just the right column where I given the mark you direction as up. You define left, right, up, down. You want horizontal scrolling, vertical scrolling. All this how you want to configure, right? That is what mouse over and mouse out like options are used regularly. So mouse over and mouse out. We can apply several sets of effects. So if I give one, based on that, you can understand others also, right? Yeah. Now, another option usually for mouse event binding. So several actions are performed when mouse button is down and mouse button is up, down and up. So usually we handle the options like dragging, dropping, drag and dropping, and we write interactions. So when we write interactions with mouse, for example, I want some advertisement to drag and drop from another location, or I want some action image to zoom in when I hold down the button and release when it sets to normal. All such things we can manage with mouse down and up. That means sometimes the action is performed until you hold down and once you release it. So mouse down and up. So we can manage that by using mouse down and up events. These are mouse over and out. Mouse over and out. You can see, you can apply everywhere, just you need to think how to configure it. That's it, right? So any effect, you can even change background colors, background pictures, advertisements, anything. Suppose banners, advertisements, anything. So that you have to think. For every point, we cannot give an example to you. So once one example I given, others you need to able to identify the situation and apply. So for example, suppose in assets, I'm copying some like I'm copying some option like here. So I have some images. Okay, in the images, I have some images like, so Pepsi, and I have image like Reliance Digital. Okay, copy that. And I keep this in our assets folder. And in assets, I have some advertisements, banners and all, right? And usually what we do is, suppose we want to keep a banner. Okay, so let's keep a banner above or below some banner. So I just keep a div. So class as row. Okay, and here, so we keep another div. So class as text center. Okay. And here we have an image. So some width is 400 and height is some 100. Some image is defined. I will go here and here I will declare in the properties I'm configuring. In the properties I'm configuring as add image. So add image. So add image. Here I have assets. From assets Pepsi.jpg. That is the add image I have. Okay. Now, important is, so here we are writing two methods. That is add one is one method and add two is another method. Two methods are there. Add one, what it will do is this dot add image. It will change the image assets.rdigital.jpg. And this will change the image. So this dot add image assets dot pepsi dot jpg. You are changing the picture, you are changing the image. And when I move the mouse onto this here, onto the advertisement here on this div, so we are changing the advertisement on image. You can see here, so image has source. This source is coming from add image, and this image over, mouse over, that means when mouse is over that banner, it will get me add one. Okay, when out, mouse out, then it will get me add two. Add two will put a different image inside it. That means you are defining the advertisement banner in this way. So what is that image assets, right? So make sure that I copied into the assets Pepsi capitalization matters. Okay. So here we will go and we will change this. So Pepsi. Okay. So that is what we want to display. Yeah. So here we are displaying advertisements. So here style. So margin. So as auto. Yeah, we will apply the style margin as auto for that particular class like this. Now you have the content here. Some advertisement is there at the top. And when I move the mouse onto it, it will change the advertisement. And we move the mouse outside it, it will be another advertisement. That means on mouse over, the advertisements are changing. The image is changing. So you are handling an animation, you are changing the images, you can do anything. Just you need to understand the situation and the requirement, then you can do anything. As per that requirement, you need to know how to keep it correctly. Right? That means you are changing the advertisement. On mouse over, one advertisement. On mouse out, another advertisement. You can make it work for different. So we can make it work for different. Actually, even when I go mouse over, I can change the text, I can change the image, or I can change its orientation. So many animation effects we can do. Later, when I show you Angular animations, you will see how we can put even transitions, animations also. As of now, we can put CSS transitions, animations, but Angular also provides animations. We can configure them. As of now, how you can define the animation, for example, you have some image scrolling, then we have image width and height is so 100%, so 100 pixel. So width is 100 pixel, height is 100 pixel, like that. Image height and width is set to 100 pixel. Then IMG, I can keep a hover. This is style. When it is hover, then we can set transformation. So that means we can say transition. So transform. So we can set transform scale. Scale is some 2. So here initially we have some transform as scale as 1. Scale is 1, so that is 2. And suppose I define transition as 2 seconds. Transition as 2 seconds. And this transition as 2 seconds to handle this. Usually what happens is wherever the mouse pointer is moved over the image, that will be zooming, right? That image will be zooming. On mouse out, it will be normal. For every image, we can apply that effect. Or only for specific image, we can configure that. Only for specific. So on the mouse over, it will be applied. It will be applied to those images. Right. So it depends on your knowledge of CSS, you can apply. Right, but dynamically we need to handle. That means like changing complete animation, changing the source, dynamically changing, then we can manage. Because many times some people ask this question, With CSS hover also I can do. But first they should know on CSS hover what they can do. Then they can ask the question that I can do this also on CSS hover. Right, on CSS hover you can do a limited set of things statically, not dynamically everything. Then you have to depend on these type of events. This is generally how we can handle that options. Similarly, we have, so this is changing the image and handling it, right? Similarly, we have options like mouse down and up. Down and up means when you hold down the mouse button, it will perform some functionality. You release and it will perform another functionality. Hold down and release. It can handle the functionality. So that depends on you write for a div or you write for a span. Anywhere you can manage that. So you can handle the positions. You can handle the position, right? Suppose we have some animation to control. Like suppose we have some animation to control. First, I will show you what is mouse down and up. Suppose let's keep one image here. So in the assets, yeah. So let's go to the assets and keep some image here. So this is our assets, some image. Right, this is assets image. Here one we will save one image, means just we can see. I'm just designing one design here. So design here. I hope some ready-made images are there in my existing projects. It makes simple for us, right? So Angular workspace. Right. So in that we have projects, some Amazon. Source, assets, some images I'm having. Okay, see, this is the image I'm having. Gift box, offer box, 2 images are there. Okay, I will copy these images. And actually, I have 2 images which I will get into our project location. Copy them and get into our project location. Yeah, in the assets, I'm copying 2 images. Actually, both images are designed. This is one image. We have that image. This is one image. So this is image. Second image also same height, same width. Just content is different. That means the second image, the content is different. Let's see that second image. Yeah, this one. Same height, same width, the content is different there. Same height and width, 20% discount. So this is the content we have defined. This is the same image. This is manually we designed it, right? So I designed in this way. Now 2 images with same height and width we are having. So now what we are doing is in this column in the shopping. So here we have a div. So style as margin auto. Yeah. Div style as margin auto. So margin auto. So, okay, we defined that. Now I will just write a simple image control inside it. That means I will just define here IMG SRC. So IMG, so first SRC will come from another location. So just I will keep some width and height as 200 and height as 200. Okay. So we have a position option here. Right. Now here we need to put 2 images. Again, we need to put 2 images. Actually, the images, one is offer box, another one is gift box. 2 options are there. I want to keep them here. So I will create a property here. So I will create a property. This is public offer image. So this is from assets. So this is some offer box dot.png. It is a PNG. So offer image is offer box dot.png. Okay. Now I will apply that to this source. SRC is equal to offer image. We are applying that. Then you can see the image is there. So you have hold down mouse button on gift box, right? Hold down the mouse button on gift box. Then you can see when you hold down the mouse button on gift box, we can put some content there. So this is offer image by default displaying offer box. I will just put here gift box. Okay. And you can see by default it is having some gift box. So this is the gift box. We have gift box. And when user hold down the mouse button on that, that means we will define like this. So we will define like this. So we have two events to handle. So one is now is public on mouse down. On mouse down, this dot offer image should change to assets offer box dot png. It should change to offer box dot png. And on mouse up, this dot offer image, it should change to assets gift box dot png, like this. It should change. Mouse down means down. That is up. Will keep here. So we find mouse on mouse up. We call that. We can see here mouse to this. And I put button down the button. It will that image. That means it will be revealed when you hold down the button. Hold the button. It will be okay. So a slight interruption in the connection, right? Okay. So this is, you can see now, when I move the mouse onto this, then it will display. And hold down the button, then it will show that image. And you release the button. When you release the button, then automatically it will be hidden. That means that image will be revealed and displayed until you hold down the button. You hold down the button. That's what generally we have option for handling the mouse down and mouse up like options, right? So that means how we can manage the events here. Mouse down and mouse up. That means when button is down, what should happen? Button is up, what should happen? So everything same, just only few options change. Mouse move, already I explained. That example also I will give here. Mouse move already we saw. In style binding, while mouse is moving, we are moving the image also along with the mouse, right? You have seen that example. In style binding, I showed you. So these are all the mouse related events, how we can manage various interaction with mouse options. Now, similarly, now we need to understand some miscellaneous events that we will see in our next session. What are the various miscellaneous events and how to use them? So tomorrow we will see that. So tomorrow we can finish general all event binding. Then we will see how to create and use our custom events, our own events. How do we build them? That is very big point. So that we will see in tomorrow's session. Okay.